All right, so we'll start with our warm up. We'll do a squat. Breathe in and exhale on the way down. And one more. All right, we'll do some swimmers with our arms going forward. And backwards. And we'll shake them across and up. Whatever feels good to you to get them loose. And we'll do some leg swings too. So we'll start with just a bent leg, trying not to arch our back. And turning that into a straight leg. And we can turn that into a sideways swing as well. All right, and same thing with our other leg. So start with a bent leg. Trying not to arch our back, especially on the back swing. And turning that into a straight leg. And then into a side swing. All right, and we'll do some toe touches. So make a T and reach down and we'll touch our opposite toe. Slight bend in our knees. But we're beginning to warm up our core here and our hamstrings. All right, one more on each side. And we'll do, from here, we'll go squat and we'll open up our hips. And then we will do going the opposite way, so an internal rotation. All right, one more on each leg. And we'll take this into a reverse lunge with a Y raise. You don't need to step back too far. Just make sure you're sinking your hips down. All right, one more on each side. All right, and now we'll go into some walkouts. So we'll hinge forward at our hips. We'll walk our hands out. From here, we will do a pike, back to a plank, push up, and walk our hands up. And we'll do 5 total. So walk your hands out, do a pike, plank, push up, and walk back. At your own pace, we'll do 5 total. That was 2 for me. push-ups can be from your knees or toes. That was number 4. I sometimes forget the pike, which is the part I actually enjoy the most. And when you're done your 5th one, you can roll up to standing. And we'll start to jog on the spot. So today's workout is 5 rounds. The first 4 are the same, 9 exercises. We just change the intervals at which we work. And then the last round is 5 minutes of core. So we'll do 25 jumping jacks and then we'll get started. Okay, so we'll go over the exercises for you. I think we've done all of them before. First one's a Bulgarian split squat. So your foot is elevated on something, and then we're going down into our lunge. If you don't have anything to elevate your foot on, you can just do a standing split squat here. Okay. Number 2 is a halo, which we've done before. So the weight's coming around our head. Number 3 is alternating jump squat with jumping jack. So we're going to do a jump squat, jumping jack, jump squat, jumping jack, jump squat, jumping jack. Number 4 is if you have sliders, we're going to do a glute bridge walkout or slide out. So we're here and we can walk our feet out or slide them out. Number 5, 1.5 bicep curls. So we do a full curl and then a half. And then a full curl and a half. Number 6, I don't know what number this is, 6 probably, football player shuffles. Okay, number 7 is 3-way jump squats. So narrow, regular, sumo. Narrow, regular, sumo. Number 8 is tricep press and skull crusher with or without a glute bridge. So tricep press, skull crusher. And number 10 is your choice of burpee. So star jump burpee, up down burpee, push up burpee, bodybuilder burpee, side plank burpee. Be creative, do whatever you want. Maybe you want to change each round. So we will start with our Bulgarian split squat. If you want to wait, you can hold it like a goblet or like suitcases, whatever works for you. And we will start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go. So we're going. We will switch at the halfway point. We're making sure that we go down, like in our reverse lunges. We can switch sides. Sorry, so the first round we work for 50, rest for 20. If you have weights, you probably have a slight forward lean. So next is our halo. Whether you're standing or kneeling, I'm going to kneel. Either way, we're bringing the weight around our head and we'll switch at the halfway point. 2, 1, and go. So we're also doing a bonus bit of a core here, right? We're keeping our core tight so that the only part of us that's moving is our arms. We'll switch directions in 5 seconds. Morning, Linda. And switch directions. Have a slight pelvic tilt forward, slight knee bend. There's value to going slow here if you have a heavier weight. 2, 1, and rest. So now it's the alternating jumping jack and jump squat. So jump squat, jumping jack, jump squat, jumping jack. And it's these same exercises each round. 3, 2, 1, go. Jump squat, jumping jack. Jump squat, jumping jack. When you do the jump squat, you can decide if you come all the way down or if you just kind of land on your toes and spring into that jumping jack. Two, 1. So next is the glute bridge walkout or slide out. So if you want your sliders, otherwise you can just do a step out. 2, 1, and go. Keeping our hips up. You can put your arms in the air if you feel as though they are doing some of the work, because the work should be coming from our glutes and our hamstrings. Make sure you're alternating which leg goes first if you are doing them at opposite times. Two, 1, and rest. So next is our 1.5 bicep curls. So we do a full curl and then half of a curl. Starting in 3, 2, 1. So full curl, then just bring them to 90 and curl up from 90. Like all of our standing exercises, slight bend in our knees, slight tilt in our pelvis. We are trying not to sway. We're trying to isolate our biceps here so that our arms are the only part of our body that's moving. Your elbows should be at your sides. Two, 1, and rest. So next one is our football players. You can do these however you want. If you want to travel, if you want to jump, if you want to squat. But whatever we're doing for 50 seconds. And go. So try to stay low. Fast feet. I just find traveling makes the time go faster. Just over 10 seconds. and rest. So next one's our three-way jump squats. So narrow, regular, sumo. If you want to go narrow, regular, sumo, regular, narrow, that's fine. Or you just want to start back at the top each time. Whatever works for you. 3, 2, 1, and go. So narrow, regular, sumo. And if you don't want to be jumping, you can take out the jump and just walk between each one. Just over 10 seconds left. And rest. So next is our tricep press with skull crusher. You can use one weight or two. And you can add in a glute bridge if you would like. 2, 1, and go. Your elbows stay in the whole time. If you're doing the glute bridge, take a second and check in with your hips. On the skull crusher, your elbows might want, ow, I just hit myself in the head. Check in with those hips. And our last one is burpee of choice. So an up down burpee, a push up burpee, a star jump burpee, a tuck jump burpee, a bodybuilder burpee, a side plank burpee, whatever you want to do for 50 seconds. 2, 1, and go. Yeah, but come on. That's halfway.
Come on. Every one chapter in that.
3.
Chapter 13? Yeah? Using chapter 13?
2, 1, and rest. So now we go back to the top. And now we work for 40 seconds, rest for 20. And we have a 30-second break in between rounds. So we're back with our Bulgarian split squat for 40 seconds.
We end up on chapter 13?
Ready? And go. So our Bulgarian split squat. If you want to challenge yourself, maybe think about tempo. So go down, 2, 3, and power up. Switch legs. And rest. Halo is next. So standing or on your knees. I think I said this round we work for 40, rest for 20. Next round we work for 30, rest for 10. And then work for 20, rest for 10. And go. Only our upper body is moving. Think about engaging your core. And switch directions. Two, one, and rest. So jump squat to jumping jack is next. And if you want to take out the jump, you can just do a squat and then a jumping jack or a step jack. Three, two, one, and go. So jump squat, jumping jack. You got 10 seconds to go. And rest. So glute bridge, walkout or slide out is next. We have 20 seconds to transition. Two, one, and go. Thinking about our hips. You can put your arms up in the air again. Changing the lead foot. That's halfway. Really engaging your hamstrings as you come back in. Two, one, and rest. So next is our bicep curls. So we're back up for our 1.5 bicep curls. Three, two, one, and go. Breathe out when you're lifting up. Also engage your core here as well. Your upper arms are glued to your side. Two, one, and rest. So our football players for 40 seconds. Three, two, one, and go. Try to stay low the whole time and fast feet. Halfway already. Two, one, rest before our 3-way jump squats. These are the hardest for me. Make sure you get lots of water whenever you need it, especially during these 20-second breaks. and go. Narrow, regular sumo. For the sumo, you can point your toes outwards. Make sure your arms are getting involved. Ten seconds to go. 2, 1, and rest. So tricep press and skull crusher. With a glute bridge if you'd like. 2, 1, and go. Don't hit your head. Especially if you have whatever weight you have, there's value to going slow here. Check in with your hips and your glute bridge. And our last one for this round is your choice of burpee. 2, 1, and rest. So your choice of burpee, star jump, tuck jump, push up, plank up, down, side plank. 3, 2, 1, and go. Don't touch, please. Christopher, do not touch.
Three, 2, 1.
And rest. So we have 30 seconds to rest, and then back to the top for 30 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest.
When you're done, such a cool down.
So Bulgarian split squats, the first one. And we're starting in 5 seconds. 2, 1, go. Once again, you can think about tempo or powering up. Switch sides.
Sneak down here. Yes. I swear.
Next is halo,
3, 2, 1.
and we only have 10 seconds to transition.
8.
Okay, guys, come upstairs.
1.
Guys,
Okay, halo.
I don't think I'm here.
no, upstairs.
Mommy.
Go get a snack.
Mommy. Mommy.
And we're gonna switch now.
Mommy. Mommy.
Check in with your back.
Mommy.
All right, next one is the jump squat and jumping jack.
Mommy.
2, 1, go. And then next is our glute bridge, walkout or slide out. 2, 1, and rest. So it is only 10 seconds. So our transition time is much shorter. 2, 1, and go. Arms up off the ground if you find that they're doing some of the work. The next is our bicep curls. 2, 1. 2, 1, and go. Slight knee bend, slight pelvic tilt. Engage your core as well. Two, 1, rest. Football players next. Of course, make sure you pick up and put down your weights carefully. 2, 1, and go. So 30 seconds. Ten seconds to go. 1, rest. All right, 3-way jump squats. 2, 1, and go. Narrow, regular, sumo. Our tricep press, skull crusher is next in 10 seconds. 2, 1, and done. So 2 more for this round. 2, 1, and go. Don't fully lock your elbows at any point. Should always have just a slight bend. And burpee of choice is next. 2, 1, rest. All right, so whichever burpee you want to do. I'm gonna do, I think, up downs on this one. And go. And then we have a 30-second rest. 2, 1, and rest. All right, so our last round is to work for 20, rest for 10. And then we'll do a core round at the end. For the Bulgarian split squats, it's only 10 seconds each leg. So maybe you just want to hold it down in 10 seconds. 2, 1, and go. So just gonna hold. You can maybe pulse. Switch. And transition to our halo. 2, 1, go. As the time decreases, you might want to increase your weight if you're feeling good. Switch directions. If you are increasing your weight, always make sure you're not changing your form. And rest. Jump squat and jumping jack. 2, 1, go. And then glute bridge, walkout, slide out is next. And done. And these are the last round for these exercises. 2, 1, go. Think about your hamstrings, getting the power from them to initiate that movement back up. And bicep curls is next. 2, 1, go. Check in with your back. And football players is next. And we're just going for 20. So try to get low and fast. And then our last 3-way jump squat. All right, our last 3-way jump squat. 2, 1, go. Narrow, regular, wide. Make sure your arms are getting involved. And our next is tricep press and skull crusher. Two, 1, go. Don't change your speed or your form just to get in more reps. And then our last one is our burpee. And this is the last burpee of the day. 2, 1, go. And rest. All right, I'll show you our core. We're working for 50, resting for 10, 5 exercises. First one is a plank tuck, plank jack. Okay, we just alternate those. Number 2 is our feet are up in the air. We're gonna do a reverse crunch, crunch, reverse crunch, crunch. Number 3 is shoot throughs. So you're in a bear and we're twisting and touching our opposite toe. Number 4, star crunches. So we make a star and then come on up and crunch. And number 5 is a plank walkout or slide out. So here, or you can do the same thing with sliders. All right, so we're starting in 10 seconds with our alternating plank jack and plank tuck. 2, 1, go. So we tuck and then we jack. All the while, wrists under shoulders. 2, 1. So next one is crunch and reverse crunch. 2, 1, go. I just have my hands or my arms on the ground beside me. Just for a little bit of support during that reverse crunch. Next is shoot throughs, or just a bear hold if you'd prefer. So shoot throughs or bear hold. 2, 1, go. So from your bear, you twist to the side and touch your opposite toe with your opposite hand. Hold in bear for a second with your knees just hovering. Two, one. Star crunches is next for our second last exercise of the day. 2, 1, go. So star and then crunch it up. I have to hold myself for a second at the top. Almost there. 2, 1. And our last one is a plank walkout or slide out. 2, 1, go. So with your sliders, you can be on your knees or your toes, or you can just be doing walking out. Alternate which hand goes first. Try to keep your hips square to the ground the whole time. Two, one, and we are done. Let's stay on the ground For our cool down, grab some water if you need it. We'll start in our tabletop position after you got some water. We'll just do a couple cat cows. Slowing down our breathing. Okay, one more. And then we'll curl our toes under, go into our downward dog. Pedal out your heels. And we'll float one leg up to the sky and then circle it through for our pigeon. Our hips are still square to the ground. You can lean forward to wherever feels good for you today. And when you're ready, push back into your downward dog and repeat with our opposite leg. So float it up and circle it through and lean forward. And when you're ready, we'll push back to downward dog and walk our hands up and slowly roll up. We're going to take our right leg, we're going to cross it behind our left leg, and then we're going to reach to the ground to touch our right toes. So this is a stretch for your right IT band. So you should feel the stretch in your back leg. So your right leg is crossed behind your left. You're leaning kind of across to touch your right toes. And slowly come up and we'll switch. So left foot crosses behind, and reach down to touch your left toes. So we're stretching out our IT band as well as our hamstrings. And slowly come on up. And we'll grab our right foot, our right laces for a quad stretch. And that same foot will cross over our left knee. And we'll do a little bit of a squat here, stretching our glutes. You can flex your right foot. All right, and we will switch. So left foot. Think about pushing your laces into your hand. And cross your left foot over your right knee. A little squat. Flex your left foot. And come on to standing, we'll do our shoulders. So one arm across your chest. Try to keep your shoulder away from your ear. And switch. And our triceps soaring behind your head. Add a little side tilt if you'd like. And last one, switch to the other arm. And we are done. Happy Monday, happy Victoria Day. Have a wonderful day, everybody.